Hey, what's up everybody? So I purchased this Klutch welding table from Northern Tool, and we're gonna jump right into the assembly of it. It's going to go by very quick, very simple, and then we'll just kind of go over a little bit at the end, just kind of what I got, and then I'll have a couple of clips of me just welding on it and going from there. So let's jump to it. Alright everybody, so watching that video, I assembled this. It doesn't take too long to get this all up and going. It's pretty basic, pretty simple. You put your four wheels on the bottom, you flip it back over, you put your legs on it. You basically have to make sure that the legs are in the correct spots because I think it's 4 holes that face a certain direction. You can't just put the legs in any corner you want. You have to kind of look at them and compare the two. Put those on, put all your things, or all the rest of your braces on there loosely. Then you basically take your tabletop here, put it right on top, put your handle on, bolt it down, everything tight, and it works great. So the great thing about this is this table is going to be 40 inches long, 24 inches wide, and 36 inches tall. So it's going to be a really nice working height. So if I ever have to sit in a stool or anything like that, so I can just be hunched over just right, or it's just a nice table that I can work on, I can wheel it around because each corner has a caster, a spinnable caster wheel. So I can basically turn this over here, this side does the same thing without worrying. As well as if I want to actually keep it stationary, I can actually unscrew the pads underneath and plant it and make it a fixed table. So it's got some benefits. So if I just want to move it and lock it right into place, I can. Otherwise, I can keep it just mobile. The downfall with it being 100% mobile is my floor is slightly uneven. So if I tap this, it will just start rolling. It's actually pretty crazy on how well those casters spin and how nice and lubricated they are. But I like just to kind of plant it down and kind of work that way. Now, a couple things that you guys do get with this is you're gonna get a couple of these, whoa, caught that. You're gonna get a couple of these clamps. These are the ones that you basically take this, you put that through the holes in the table, lock it on with your nut, and then now you can just clamp anything you want in any place you need it to be if you need that. Another great thing they give you is they give you 8 of these V-blocks spacers. So if you need to hold some round stock, you can actually set that stock right in the middle there and it'll actually keep it from rolling and everything along those lines. Combo it with your clamp. Better not grab the wrong end again. Combo with your clamp. Now you got it all locked into place. You need to go up a little bit for whatever reason. They actually give you these little spacers. So now you can actually take these, set those in there. Now you got a slightly raised space for your V-block. Comes with a couple magnets, your typical, you got your magnet that has, 45 degree on it, 90 degree, everything that you need. So you can put those, 2 nice ones, strong. Can't go wrong with those. The next thing is you actually got some stock stops or blocks, or actually you can probably use them for whatever you want. So you get basically one of these bars. You get a couple bolts with that as well, and then you get a plate like this, and then you're also going to get a plate along those lines. And if you look right there, you'll see 2 magnets, and what those will do is if I go underneath, I can just put that right underneath. Now it actually is magnetized to the tabletop. I can now plant my piece down and put my bolt through here, and I just changed the whole diameter and made it actually a locking piece. So if I only want my stock to go so far, I can actually stop it where I want it to, clamp it down. I can change the angle this way, change the angle this way. I mean, it's so much adjustment. So I mean, it's just it's a handy little tool. Otherwise, I mean, you could use it for whatever realistically you want. There's no rules basically to fabricating, in my opinion. It's whatever you can come up with. All right, guys, so that is basically my Klutch welding table. I'm just gonna jump right into kind of demoing a couple, just me with my new TIG welder. I'm gonna be welding just some mild steel. I think I might try to do some round stock, kind of see how those V-blocks work, and kind of go from there, and then we'll just kind of end the video that way. So let's jump right over to the welding. All right, so basically I just took some tubing that I used for a roll cage back in college, and I just tacked it right there, and I'm just going to use my V-blocks just to kind of hold it in place. I'm using a 3/16 tungsten with a purple tip, so that should work for my mild steel. I think it's almost all metals, I could be mistaken there, but it is the purple tip, 3/16, running a 3/16 filler rod as well. And then basically I'm just going to try to go around. I notched it out. I don't have a pipe notcher or anything like that, so I just grinded it out as best I could, just so I could get this kind of effect to it, so I can weld some scrap pieces of metal here. But yeah, so we're going to crank the heat up just a little bit so I can get more penetration on the inside, and then yeah, we're going to just go at it. Still smoking a little bit of the grease off, but there's my first weld. I'm not sure. I didn't really clean off the inside. It's been sitting, it's been scrap, but inside you can actually start seeing the penetration a little bit more at that section from my original spot weld that I have. Alright, so basically, it was a good run. First time TIG welding round stock, and then, you know, it's probably only my, third week, I think, since I own this TIG welder. I've been TIG welding some stuff, some thin 18 gauge steel on the bug over here. Haven't welded anything, you know, thick wise. Like I said, this was for a roll cage. They had to meet NHRA specs. I can't remember what the wall thickness is, but I don't know if anybody, you know, can comment on it. But all right, so guys, basically, you can kind of see, let's see if I can get that to focus in just a little bit. So my first run, you'll see right across there, I thought it actually laid out pretty good. You know, for me, never be able to weld, or have never welded round stock with a TIG welder before, and trying to just get that motions going. I thought it, you know, started out pretty good. I stopped, I think it was about right about here. So you can see my weld comes across. Let's see if I can get that a little bit nicer for you. So you can see that's where I ended my weld. So I started here, round, go around. I think I stopped here. I didn't back up and start back a little bit and then continue my weld. I think I just blopped it on there again. But you can see weld, you know, I get it on there. It's on there pretty nice for the most part. So keep it going. This is where it gets, I don't know what I was doing, but it got a little thick. I kind of got a little crazy there. So you can kind of see where I got a little thick on my weld, and especially right there at the end, it's a kind of a fatty. Actually, that whole bead's kind of fat, in my opinion. And then basically, I got to the end of my filler rod. Actually, sorry, take that back. So then I turned my piece, got fat, still kept getting fat, and then eventually got towards the end of my filler rod, and I was just like, oh, my gloves are getting pretty warm, and then I just didn't even close that weld off. But for me, just kind of, I don't know if we can get in there, so you can kind of see where my weld penetrated, or better than my original one. Like I said, I looked in there, I didn't see anything on there. But again, like I said, not too bad in my opinion for someone that's first time ever welding. I thought that turned out pretty good for the very first run, you know, just for that round piece. So, you know, like I said, practice makes improvements, so you guys can just keep going at it. I'm gonna just kind of mess around on this a little bit more, but yeah, that's kind of the end of this one. All right, everybody, so thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys coming to my channel, kind of seeing what I have to do. I'm basically just kind of a glorified hobbyist. I really like this, you know, doing this stuff. I like making the videos. I went to school for automotive collision. I did some side classes for video production. So this kind of just intrigues me, and I like to kind of show everybody, you know, what I have to kind of show. You know, you don't need all this crazy thousands and thousands of dollars to do, you know, different projects. You know, I've been collecting tools since, you know, I was, you know, for the last 15 or so years. So guys, if you liked what you saw, please hit the like button, subscribe. I appreciate all you guys. If you have any comments, please put your comments below. Otherwise, we're just gonna keep making some videos. So, see ya.